Good morning. Michael Mazarang here again. And today we're going to take a little field trip around the Charlotte area to look at some of our existing accounts that have already been installed or are in production. Please join us. Come on along. Good afternoon. Michael Mazarang here again. And today we're in Kannapolis in the 28083 zip code. We're here working with one of our current installations, and this customer is a home investor who buys homes and then puts them back on the market, and they reached out to us for help inside the crawl space. And this is about a 50-year-old house. Naturally, you're dealing, it was very dated with improvements needed here in the front. They put on a new front porch and added all these pillars to the front and yanked out all the plants, put in fresh plants, restored the flower beds to a more normal positioning for drainage control. We were asked to replace the foundation vents. They were really old, and so we put just a standard new construction vent on the home. As you can see here, very easy to open and close, and a lot of the old vents on these old homes open from the inside of the crawl space, making it very difficult to open and close. But now whoever buys this house will have the ability to, within a few minutes, open and close all these vents on the house. So these the gutters are now in full working order, and there is a downspout discharge underground on some of these locations, which you like to see to keep all the water away from the front. Now, there was a pretty bad water intrusion problem on the home, and naturally, whenever you're dealing with the street that's above grade, you have all that drainage coming towards the house. So we were hired to put an interior sump pump system with a supporting drain tile support system on this house. They're called pressure relief systems by some companies, pipe and gravel. I like to call it what it is. It's an interior foundation drain, whatever you want to call it. A series of pipes, control pipes, are around the entire perimeter, and we installed our sump pump at the left rear corner of the structure to address this water intrusion. Don't always have to put those drains on homes. You try to correct these things from the outside as best you can with drainage improvements, but in some cases the foundation is just so old that it's going to leak and you have to deploy these drains. But certainly the outside solutions are what you try first. So again, here you can see where all the vents were replaced. Added some silicone sealant around the edge to make sure that it's properly seated. Sometimes the vents require a little bit of extra work where you've got a lot of chunks out of the masonry, and if you have to consult with a local brick mason to seed those in with masonry material, you can do that as well for an extra few $100s. You get we have a mason that we run into that, but these actually seeded really well, and just complements the installation really well. Here is the exit line for our sump pump, and we have these little we like to do a buried exit line. The shorter the exit line, the better. And I like these little bubble pot assemblies where the water just gently shoots up from the drain cover here and just bubbles off down the hill away from the house. And so we will go into the crawl space now, and we decided to do a full crawl space clean out on this job, which did include an industrial cleaning program, which we pulled all the subfloor insulation. We did clean all the mold on the subframing or the substructure. We did recommend replacing the ductwork, but that was not in the budget, so we do see the old ductwork here, which I do recommend replacing, but at this time there wasn't the budget to do so. But the rest of the crawl space is completely retrofitted. You can see here, I'll get a better look. The products we use for mold remediation not only kill the mold, but bring the soil load to the surface. And it's really important to remove all of that staining as much as you can get away with, so that you can restore the natural luster of the wood itself. Bleaching does not, of course, does not get repaired. That's permanent. But this crawl space was actually pretty moldy when we first got here. So it cleaned up really nicely. And the guys right now are re-insulating. There are different insulation products on the market today. We choose to spend extra money to get the good stuff. The Owens Corning R19 pink insulation, and we get that unfaced for a couple reasons. The unfaced, that paper backing can get moldy if the crawl space has moisture problems, and so we choose to do the unbatted insulation. We add a fair amount of these hangers here to support that insulation. We put extra hangers in to make sure our installs look clean and neat. So I'm actually glad I was able to get here today at this stage where the guys are kind of finishing up with that part of the installation today. We're keeping this house under vented code. Another reason why we got this job, we didn't try to sell an expensive encapsulation on this house. Since it is a real estate situation, we stayed underneath the vented code. But we are putting a white liner 10 mil down. It is fully staked down with a 12-inch overlap. And I mean, the white is basically the same price as the black. So in many cases, we'll go ahead and use the white. Certainly it brightens it up in here for, just looks better. Again, we did do a full perimeter drain system on this house. And the reason why we did so, it did not appear that when they fixed the gutters, the water was still leaking in here really bad. So we spoke with the homeowner and just decided to spend the money on a full perimeter pipe and gravel drain system or foundation drain system. And so I'll crawl over here to the sump pump here so we can see that. And we'll put a picture up on the screen of what a 4-inch foundation drain looks like. And excuse me here, and I'll get back. The most important part of the system is, of course, the sump pump, which is located here. We do put a 1/2 horsepower sump pump on all of our installs, when typically most companies will just put a 1/3 horsepower on their drain system. So we want a little bit of extra firepower for our systems so that it'll last longer. And so the combined system of foundation drainage, mold cleaning, as well as insulating and the vapor barrier, replacing the vents. This house will satisfy every aspect of vented code. It'll be on the market probably here in the early fall, so there shouldn't be moisture problems in here. And of course, we could bring in a third-party mold hygienist to swab this and clear it if we absolutely had to prove that it is truly 100% mold-free. So if you have any questions about foundation drainage, industrial mold cleaning services, putting in crawl space piers, putting in foundation drain systems or sump pumps, we'd certainly appreciate a phone call. Especially if you're a home investor, we're not going to try to oversell the job. We have no problem staying in the confines of vented code and not trying to sell these expensive encapsulations when they're not needed. So yeah, we certainly appreciate a phone call. You can check us down underneath on your screen. Will be the website and the phone number to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to have a phone consultation or even come out to your house to do an inspection. So again, this is Michael Mazarang. Appreciate you joining us real quick here for an installation in Kannapolis, and we look forward to seeing you next time on the next house. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.